Yo, what's up? It's SupaIceCold Nell. This is fun facts about songs about her. I'm just gonna let y'all into like the creative process of songs about her, how it came about, the artwork, just like who her may be. I'm not gonna give no names. I can't do that. But we gonna talk about her. Let's do it. Alright, songs about her, man. Before the album was even an album, it was a song. I'm not gonna talk about the song just yet. I'm gonna reveal that a little later. But the first song I actually recorded before it was a whole album. It was a song, and I was actually inspired by my man, SupaIceCold J. He wrote a song, and it was an R&B song. I don't know if I'm giving away too many jewels, but like I don't know if he wants you to know that, but it is what it is. But he wrote an R&B song, and it kind of inspired me. And I'm like, I was always one to wanna make R&B at times in my life. So like a lot of my old projects, you can hear me singing on hooks, stuff like that. So it was kind of a thing where I wanted to create an actual R&B song and it just be mine. And I write. I've always been a creative writer. I've always had an interest in mindset. So like even with my rap songs, so I knew like R&B wasn't far-fetched for me. I knew I could just do that just as well as I do anything else, writing journalistic writing or writing a rap. So I wrote this song, and I remember I had a conversation with one of my homies. He asked me like, damn Nell, so what's next? And this was after I dropped For the Fresh Side with Love. And I basically like, I'm one of those people where I'm not a bullshitter, but at the end of the day, like I speak things into existence. Cause I didn't know Songs About Her was gonna be a Songs About Her. I just thought it was gonna be one song and I was gonna drop it and that was gonna be it. So I had a conversation with my homie. He's like, what's next? And I'm like, yo, I got a project coming. He's like, yeah, what is it? I'm like, I don't want to talk about it right now because I really didn't want to talk about something that I was fraud about. You know what I mean? But I really, so I told him like, yeah, man, I don't really want to talk about it. Like, what is it? Like, I'm like, all right, man, I'm dropping an R&B project. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I'm dropping an R&B project. So after that conversation, it was like, all right, I gotta drop an R&B project now. I just told this man I'm dropping it, and it's something I'm very capable of doing. So like, why not drop an R&B project? So like I said, I recorded that one song. He didn't even hear the song, but I recorded that one song, and then after that, it was kind of like the rest is history. I gotta make a project now. And it was Songs About Her. Before Songs About Her was even the title, it was going to be Songs About Her. So fast forward, the artwork. It came when I was talking to my man Deshaun, the guy that's directing this, and I just wanted an artwork to where it was like showcasing women of color and like in the best form. And I was just reading text messages, thinking about the old conversation we were having. And I kind of just wanted it to, display them in a beautiful fashion because this was the her I was referring to. These were the. It's all about her. Fun fact: it's not about one person. It's about multiple people, of course. So like, I wanted it to be multiple women on the cover, multiple women of color. So I remember initially when I shot him the idea, he sent me back a cover. And it was just like regular women. And it was dope. But like, in my mind, I'm like, yo, I would love for this joint to be like cartoonish. And like, when I said that, first of all, Deshaun, he done did Fresh Side University. He done did Beginner's Luxury. What else you did, bro? I swear you did some other stuff. Release, I'm sorry. He did the release as well. Yeah, so it was kind of like a no-brainer for me to hit my man Deshaun up because like everything we done did together was a classic already. So it was like, I gotta get him to do Songs About Her. So I shot him the idea and I told him like he sent me back something and I seen it. It was dope. And I was like, yo, I kind of want it to be cartoonish. So I told her that, and I think I had a comment like I just wanted to be like not too over-sexualized, but that wasn't the goal or the mission. As far as the lyrics from the song that I had recorded already, and this is fast forwarding now to like maybe like 4 or 5 months into the project to actually talk about the artwork. So next thing I know, he sent me back the image, and it was like that was the cover. I was just shocked. I'm like, damn, but why should I be shocked and amazed when this man always in my mind or some shit like that? Anyway, he always delivered what I asked him to, so it was like, man, that was it, and like that's how the cover came about. It was perfect. And like just the whole galactic stars out there. I didn't come up with that. He came up with that. It was just perfect for everything. And it just made sense. The first song on the project is Phil. That song was like one of the first songs I actually recorded. It wasn't the first one, but it was like after I told my man I'm driving a project, it was kind of like, all right, now I gotta go in and I gotta make music. So Phil's was like actually the second song I actually wrote. And at that point, it was a time when I wrote that song. This was probably like early, maybe like January of 2017 this year. And I was kind of like, I wasn't in the mind frame to make that actual song because I was going through a situation with one of a woman that I was dealing with at the moment. And we kind of like fell off, but we were still good as far as like platonically. But I just remember Wale line that said like platonic shit for TV shows, like this shit don't work. But yeah, so like Phil was like, I wrote that in. My writing process is like this. I always write, most of the time I write the hook first. So it was like, it was kind of me reminiscing, even though I was in a state of mind at the time where it was like, yo, F this girl, I don't really want to deal with her no more. But I was kind of just like going back to a time where everything was good. That's where I got these feels for you. It's the things you do that keep you coming through. That's where that came from. It was like, I remember time when I used to go through and it was just, everything was good. Even when we were platonic, it wasn't even on the sexual side. It was just, that was the part I was referring to when I wrote that hook. And then even when I go into the verse like, swear I won a lottery, I'm celebrating like a holiday. That was all emotions that I felt when I met that woman. And she inspired that song for sure, like no question. She inspired a lot of those lyrics to that song. And cause I got you, and that's real. Every time I come through and we build. That was me talking about the platonic side of everything that we had. Like I said, like I would just go and we would just have conversations for hours. So it was like at that moment in time when I wrote this song, it was just me reminiscing because at that moment in time I didn't have that same feeling for it, but this was the feels that I had for it. So that's how that song really came about. And also like with that song, I told myself with this whole, when I started this song, writing this song, I told myself I'm not rapping on this project. I'm not rapping. I wanted it to be a full R&B project. But like after like it breaks down and it's I got the feel for you, it was like, it was beat left to like, it was like 8 bars. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do with these 8 bars? And I'm like, oh shit, I gotta spit some shit. Like it kind of forced me to, cause it was like, I can honestly, I could have got anybody to rap on it, but I was in the zone when I was writing this project in general. And I was like, yo, at that moment I'm like, if I'm gonna get anybody to do it, I'm gonna do it myself, because like, I don't gotta wait on nobody. I mean, I would love to do features with people, and I got people that definitely I can trust to get it back to me on time. But it was just like at that moment in time I was in a creative place. And when I write, I start to inspire myself when I be like, damn, that was hot. Like I keep going and it just inspires more. I'm really, when I write, I kind of sit back and to see the consciousness in my own mind, and I kind of notice my own self, like just the words coming out. Like it's kind of like, it just happens. I don't know if that's a talent. It probably is a talent. It's a gift or something like that. Because I honestly don't know where these words come from half the time. It comes from situations, but I don't know how they even just form this great of a song. And you know, it just happens. So like I said, I wasn't gonna write any raps for this song, this album, but it just happened. And it came out perfect. It came out perfect. Because what did I say? I said, young nigga, but I'm back in my old shit. Trying to get this emotion, go between your legs, swim in your ocean. And that was me just going back to, you know, the sexual side of everything with that one woman that I'm referencing in the song. I ain't gonna lie, girl, you got the potion. You're my distraction, somehow my focus. And I remember even just writing that bar, it was like, at that time, like when I was dealing with her, I was really, and it wasn't her fault. I can't blame her, it was me. I felt like the things I needed to be doing, I was distracted from, and I was just focused on her. And that's where that line came from. And I said, after that I said, cause when I'm lagging, you get to snapping, ain't no relaxing. Then I go back and that's it. Because she really, even when she noticed me doing that, So she was good for that. When she noticed me actually slacking on the things that I should have been taking care of, she would always, you know, get my ass about it, like, yo, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. And it was like, I was grateful for that, but like, at the same time, I was so lost and I was so gone, it was just too late. And that's the fun facts about 0214. 0214, man, it came about. Alright, so I don't think 0214 was about anybody. Honestly, like, realistically, it wasn't about anybody. That might be the only song that wasn't about anybody. But, as I said before, speaking things into existence, I think, like, as I met a woman that I currently with, it kind of formed into a song about her. But this is like months later. I wrote 0214 maybe back in like, that was like the third song I wrote as well. So it was like, the first song I'm not gonna feel that yet, then it was 0214. And 0214 came about when I wanted to really do a song with an artist by the name of Bia that's on the track. And I did a show with her back in like July of last year, so like a year ago, we did a show. And I seen her perform. I never heard of her, never listened to her music. I seen her perform and I was like, yo, she's so dope. And it was her voice, but not only her voice, it was what she was saying. Her writing was like next level, was immaculate. So I always, from July of 2016, I told myself that night, I'm like, yo, I'm going to get a song with her. Like, and I told myself that, and I really was like, yo, it's going to happen. So like, I always kept that in the tuck in the back of my head. So like, let's say months later, months go by, it's like, and I finally get this idea for this album. It was like, I gotta do a song with Big, like for sure. Like that's like, I'm not gonna be satisfied without doing that. And I think me and Sean had a conversation. I'm like, even when I did this song, when I was writing it, I'm like, yo, I know who I want on it. And I told him, but just do a verse before I even go into that. It was like, as I was writing this song, this ain't for entertainment. Girl, I had some thoughts, and then you come and rearrange it. I wrote that whole song because I knew I had to go in. Like I said, her writing is like top notch. So I knew I had to match that. And I knew if I was gonna do a song, I wanted to do it on her terms. But I'm an artist, so like, end of the day, I feel like I can create any song, and I'll do it, and it's gonna be me as well. So like, I can get on her terms, but it's still gonna be me. So 214 was definitely me. But it was like, let me cater to be it too. Even though I know she can do so many things and this is her range. But after I heard her perform and I went back and I researched her entire catalog, I went on her whole SoundCloud and I listened to her songs like over and over and over again. And so many songs stood out to me. And so when I heard the beat for 0214, I was like, yo, this is the one. This is what I'm getting on. This is gonna be dope. But in order for me to do that, my writing has to be top notch. So I wrote the hook. Matter of fact, this ain't for entertainment. When I wrote that, it wasn't even a hook. I didn't have a hook for that song. But it was like, the way I wrote that song, it was like, I was just writing and it turned into the hook. This ain't for entertainment. Girl, I had some thoughts and then you come and rearrange them. Thought I will always be a player, I was steady gaming. Love how you took over control, I got this shit amazing. I wanna meet your mom and daddy, give my biggest thank you. Your daughter's such a fucking goddess, y'all must be some angels. Cause all the niggas in your past, man, ain't so fucking brainless. You're such a fucking work of art, let me make it painting. You let me in while I'm a drummer, can your body take it? So like, I was like, after I wrote that, it was like, alright, what am I gonna say next? Cause it's still more beat. Like, and I felt like I was writing the verse first. So it was like, can you take it, girl? With all that lip talk and all that shit, get naked, girl. I'm saying, girl, no, you wasn't playing, girl. My, your desire so ambitious, you could say the word. And like I said, like, I had to deliver the bars on that joint. And that was the bars I gave. And I'm like, after that, after I wrote the verse, it would just made sense that first like 16, it was a whole 16. So like, you could tell initially this was not a hook, but it turned into a hook. And I just repeated that. And then actually when the beat breaks down, like, I didn't have a clue what I was gonna do with that. And I think at first I initially wrote something and I forgot the fucking melody to it. Because when I was writing this at first, I didn't record myself, so I would forget a lot of melodies. But then I actually remembered, I didn't remember the melody, so when I played that, how deep in love, can't get enough, like, it was supposed to be something totally different. I don't remember what I was saying on that shit before. But when I heard that part, again, after like going back to the song, I was like, yo, alright, I gotta write some shit here again because I don't know what the fuck, like, how this melody goes anymore. So I came up with that. How deep is love? How deep is love? Can't get enough. You drive me crazy, but you know you ain't just anybody. Like I said, it's not about anybody. Like, but it kind of like it came into fruition and like that's exactly how I feel about my girl just right now. So like it was dope. And Bia just came on and did everything after that. After the hook came back, she just came on and did everything that I expected and more. Like it was a no-brainer when I got in the studio. When I finally got in the studio. Oh yeah, how I pitched the idea. It was like, yo, Bia, like I hit on Twitter like, listen, I got a track. I already had the track ready. I'm like, I got a track. I'm like, yo, you sound perfect on this joint. So she like, yo, send it through. Let me hear it. I sent it to her, and she hit me back like, yo, I ain't been inspired in a long time, but like, I wrote this joint in like 2.5 seconds. I'm like, god damn, like that's what's up. Like I was happy she was really like, cause I knew like this, she was sound perfect for this. And like when I got in the studio, it was like, she let me hear it. I'm like, damn, like that's it, like killed that shit. And she did her thing, so you know, many thanks to Bia. I appreciate her for sure. And that's on 214. Alright, so fun fact about Song For You. Song For You, I wrote it because I wanted a song that my mom can play and listen to, because my mom, she ain't listen to my music. Like, we gonna keep it real. Things I talk about, I want my mom to play my music. I talk about a lot of crazy shit. So like, in the day, like that was one of those songs where I had to make it because I wanted not only my mom to be listening to my music and enjoy it, but like all women of color and black women specifically could enjoy it and appreciate it, because I appreciate them. And that's why, you know, I wrote the hook, and it was just as simple as me, you know, showing appreciation, just saying like, every day I wake up, you fixing your makeup, I know you want to get this paper, but I just had to make a song for you. And like, I couldn't make songs about her without dedicating the song to black women and women of color, because like, I feel like it would just be exploiting, like, and that's not what I'm down for. And just to be honest, like, we know black women and women of color, they work so hard, and a lot of the time, especially in this era of social media, they get denigrated for who knows what. That's like, and just being themselves. And like, most of the time we focus on the wrong things and we don't focus on the positives. And for real right now, they didn't want us pushing the culture forward. Without them, we wouldn't even be here. So I had to make an ode to black women and women of color, because they deserve it and I appreciate it. That's why the first verse went like, I ain't hating you like you other niggas, or showing love undercover, your girl fucking with you. You're more than beauty, your intellect made me interject. Them niggas saying your body banging, you been a threat. Like, that was everything that I felt, and I know, because like I said, like, it's not just about your body or the curves, it's really about what's up here, and like how you motivate us. Like, you created us, and I had to make this song to show that appreciation. And even after I wrote the hook and I wrote the verse, I told myself, like I said, I wasn't gonna write any raps for this album. But it was like, after I wrote the first verse and I sang, I felt like I got my message across, like, as far as just singing. But then I'm like, I'm not done, but what would I sing? And it was kind of like, okay, like, I can break this down and I can spit something and I can just say how I feel. That's why when I came on, I said, yeah, I felt this in my soul. You like my better half, because you got me feeling whole. Got me feeling hoes, ain't never been the ghost. Girl, you stimulate my mind, got me thinking about the most. Like, girl, magic, baby, you a classic. Let me in your world while we travel across the atlas. If you make a record, I'm the vocals, you the vocals, I'm the ad-lib. Just so I can play the back, cause you the main attraction. I mean, and like I said, like, again, like, this song was just an ode to all women of color and black women, just to empower them in this age where we denigrate our women, and just to uplift them in the song. My mom can enjoy it, man. My niece can enjoy it. My sister can enjoy it. Yeah, I can enjoy it. You know what I mean? Everybody, our family, because these the ones that's, you know, going hard for us. These the ones that's on the front lines with us. And too often we just, you know, being so negative towards them. So like, this is me showing love to them. And even initially, I didn't want to include this track, because when I heard it, when I first heard it, it wasn't mixed, and we didn't get it mixed till like 3 months later. And I heard it one time, and it kind of felt like a filler track, and I didn't know if it would go. But then, like, as we got it mixed, like a week before I dropped the whole project, it was like, yo, this song is amazing. Like, and I would be crazy, I'd be a fool not to include this, especially when the album is called Songs About Her, and it has shades of 3 different women on the cover. Like, I gotta make a song for you, and that's how that came about. Fun facts about Body. Oh man, so this is dope. Like Body, I've been getting a lot of good feedback on Body, and it's kind of like I'm kind of in like a crossroads with this song, and I'm gonna tell you why. Well, if you're a fan of Sid of the internet, a lot of people may not know her. A lot of people do know her. All right, I didn't write this song. Nobody really digs that. Nobody said nothing yet. I'm telling you, I didn't write the song. This is the only song on the album that I didn't write. Of course, I wrote the rap. I write raps, but I did not write the song. So let's say, I forget when the album came out. Sid dropped the album maybe like early this year, and I heard it, and I was amazed. It's so dope. She's a great writer, and Body was like, it stuck out to me so much, like, and it was like, yo, I gotta redo this song. Like when I heard it, I'm like, I'm redoing this song, but I didn't have a clue I was gonna put it on songs about her. But it was just like, I gotta redo this song because she's so dope. Matter of fact, just to get like people that never heard it, matter of fact, y'all gotta go hear it because we about to look this shit up. And we just gonna play it real quick, just for 1 second. But like, a lot of people don't know this, and that's why I kind of feel like, wait, I'm like, damn, like y'all love this song, but like I wrote all that other shit. I mean, I wrote that shit too, like, you know what I mean? But no, but for real, it's so dope that I'm glad people appreciate it, even if like it's still my rendition, it's still my vocals, you know what I mean? But like her lyrics was everything. So like, you know what I mean? We just gonna get a preview of that joint for the people. But like I said, Sid did her thing. I'm gonna just speed it up. I mean, like, I had to do it. It was one of the things I had to do. And and if you ever heard my old projects, you know for sure, like, I think Beginner's Luck 3, I did a cover of, like, Jamie Foxx Fall For Your Type. So, like, it's not nothing I ain't never did before. It's just that I didn't include cover on this joint. And I did a cover of, like, Alicia Keys' joint, the joint that Drake wrote. I was wondering, baby. That joint, whatever. But, like I said, Body was, like, a joint that inspired me. And I just did it a little differently. Like I took her lyrics, of course, and the way I did a couple different harmonies in the actual, like, in the hook, like, take it slow, say my name. I just added those parts to it, and it came together so well. Like, so it sounds like, honestly, like, it definitely sounds like two totally different songs. And even when I wanted to do the song, like, I knew, like, I searched for the beat, of course, on YouTube. And I couldn't find it, but I found like the one I have, the beat is like, it sounds exactly the same, but it's a remake by the producer, Corey Nell. And I'm like, yo, I gotta do it now. Like, I got the beat, it sounds perfect. And then like when I did it, even when Sid breaks down the part where I rap, Sid doesn't, you know, she breaks it down. And like, I just felt like at that moment, I was already cute. I was already like 2 songs in rapping, so I'm like, funny, like, I'm gonna spit some more bars. And even with the raps, it's funny because I kind of like, I was inspired by the flow of J. Cole. It's like on, sometimes I brag like, oh, what's that, off of Born Center, and the way he was rapping, and it was in my head when I heard this beat. Like, it was just like, all right, let me bite that flow real quick. So when I was like, so baby, bring your body and rock with me to the party, and then get a naughty and zipping me right shotty. I'm feeling like a Gotti the way I murdered for Hobby. That was all J. Cole flow. Niggas ain't even dig, but like, I'm just glad that song came together so well. But I'm kind of mad at y'all people for loving that song so much because I didn't write it. Love all the songs too. It's like, no, it's good though. But that's fun fact about Body. Let's do it. Now we gonna get into like the 5th song, Late Night, featuring my man SupaIceCold J, produced by my man SupaIceCold J. Engineered by my man SupaIceCold J, co-written by my man SupaIceCold J. I gotta give him the praise because you know what? Late Night was the actual track that, it wasn't my track to begin with. It was a joke, it was a concept that Jay came up with. He was in the studio one day and he's like, yo, I got a song, I want you to get on. I'm like, all right, bet, let's do it. And he was like, but I don't really know where I want to go with it fully. But like, I know I wanted to, like, he had basically like the part like, she only called me on a late night. Like, he had that part initially to begin with from the rip. So it was kind of like, after that, like, he was actually making the beat as I'm like, we in the studio, like, which is fucking dope. Y'all gotta be there to witness this type shit go down. Maybe we gonna get that on camera one day. But so like, he's just making the beat, and like, he like I want to go back and forth with it. So like, it was like, all right, well, I can help you with the joint, and you can help me, or we could, however you want to do it. So like I said, he already had like, as far as the melody, how he wanted it to sound. So it was kind of like just filling the words for me at that point. So like, he had that, she only called me on a late night, baby in my life. Like, and we just filling the words. Like we wrote that joint together, so we was just both filling the words. And he filled in the words for his part, and then I filled in the words for my part. So I was saying, you ain't even got a trip, baby, hit me when you're there, I'll be there. And that was like, the hook after that was done, like, because like I said, he already had the idea of, she only called me on late night. So that was gonna be what that was regardless. And like I said, he filled in his parts, and I filled in my parts. And it was like, all right, now we gotta make sure like everything, he was like, everything, I want you to make sure everything you say matches everything I say. So that was how the first verse went. He had 8 bars, I believe, and then I had the second half of the 8 bars. And I basically waited until I heard what he wrote for his 8 bars to even write my 8 bars. So yeah, like I said, my verse followed up his verse, and like I sat and I waited until he wrote his verse to actually like write my verse so we can match it. And that's why I come in like, you got me on my shit again, baby, we can get it, and no kidding, girl, we gonna have a great night. All your problems bring them through, you problem sex resolving, that's the reason why you're calling on a late night. You know what I mean? So like, that song just came together so beautifully, man. Like, and like, as always, when me and Jay get on something together, like, it's always like a masterpiece in my opinion. And like, I know I've been getting a lot of great feedback from this song as well. And I feel like this the joint, man. Like, if anything else, like, this is the one, you know, you gotta shoot the video to, of course, and hopefully that's what we're planning to do. But like I said, it was all SupaIceCold J idea, my man J idea, and like, and luckily I'm glad he hollered at me, and he wanted to use my mentor to, you know, assist him and help write this joint. So we wrote it together, and like the second verse, I started off the second verse, and it was like, and it was just history from there, man. Like I said, man, he engineered that joint, he produced that joint, and we co-wrote it together, and it happened beautifully as every song we get on together does. And I actually, like, I wasn't gonna put this on the project because I thought Jay was gonna do something with it for his project, but then like eventually, like, it was like, bro, I gotta use this joint. Like, this gotta go on songs about her. I'm doing a whole R&B joint. And of course, he was just like, go ahead, dog. Like, why not? So, you know, we put it on songs about her, and that's the history behind that song. This Ain't Forever. Alright, This Ain't Forever, man. Fun fact about This Ain't Forever. This was like one of the last songs I actually wrote, maybe like legit, probably like 2 weeks before I got it mixed, the whole thing. And I wrote it maybe back in like May. I wrote it like end of May. And it was only written because I had another song I was gonna do that was like kind of a slow ballad or a slower sexual song. And what happened was I actually lost the beat to that song. So it was like, damn, what the fuck am I gonna do? I actually wanted a song on songs about her cause everything was so fast paced and upbeat at that time. And I'm like, I gotta slow it down. You gotta make something for the ladies. Like, if I'm gonna get on my Trey Songz shit, I gotta get on my Trey Songz shit. So This Ain't Forever came about when I was just searching for beats, and I came across it, and it was real simple. Like, the hook goes like, and this is another song that's actually about a person. I had a situation with a particular woman, and something happened between us, and it came to a point to where I felt like we wouldn't last, like, and I felt like it was just momentarily. As I start to feel after like certain situations and certain things happen to where like we ain't on the same page, and that's why, like, simply the hook says, but I know this ain't forever, and you hear the sample saying love me, and like I basically wrote to that sample, but I know this ain't forever, I want you, baby, I want you. I mean, it was me saying like, of course I want you, but like I just know this ain't forever. And as I go into the verse, like I said, I had to get on my Trey Songz shit. So it was like, alright, let me get on my Trey Songz shit. Fucking like we young niggas, but fuck it, we some young niggas. I love it when she come get it. She told me, baby, you should come with me. You know what I mean? And it was just like, it was simple as that. I was really like, if I'm gonna write a ballad, we gonna be graphic about it. We gonna make sure, you know, we grown here. We gonna talk about what grown people do. I love this shit. Feeling like she drugged the shit. Kissing and she touching. Kissing and she rubbing shit. Kissing and I'm touching shit. I'ma make it last and no comment quick. Got a stupid ass and she dumb thick. I'm not playing girl, what I'm saying girl. She wanna go for rounds and I'ma take it to her. I mean, it was really that simple. Like, it wasn't too complex. It wasn't too complex of a song. But like I said, I wanted a song to where I could be sexual and it was still about that person, because at that time, like I said, I wanted it to be what it was, but I knew it wasn't forever. So if it wasn't forever, let's let it last for right now. And I was just reminiscing on the good or the pleasurable side of that relationship. So like I said, initially this song was supposed to be a different song. So for the second verse, I just ripped some lyrics from the first song that I wrote, because I just rewrote this whole song. Like, I just made it a totally different song. But when I say keep them heels on like I interviewed you, and I just ripped that part. I really like that part, that bar from the one song, and I just kept rocking out, and it became perfect, man. And like I said, it was like one of the last songs I did, and I was happy about it at the end. Like, I'm like, man, I appreciate this, yo. This is dope. And it wasn't like an album filler. It was just like, I needed this song to go on songs about her. So yeah, that's that. Alright, so fun facts about 4am. 4am, that's my favorite track. It's one of my favorite songs I ever wrote. And mostly because it was so personal. It was the first song I wrote 4 songs about her. That initially kicked off this whole R&B thing. It was a song like, after I heard my man Jay song, I'm like, I'm gonna write some personal shit too. And it was like after the situation I went through when it was dead and the girl left me. It was kind of like, this is what I had to say. And it was written at 4am. That's why it's called 4am. And that's why, like, the first verse of the song, like the way I wrote it, it was no true hook to it. But I had in my mind, I'm like, I want to write this differently than I wrote any other song. So I wanted it to be broken down to where whatever I said on the hook, I would either counter it, or it would, basically all my verses would be a level, the next level, and then another side to the story. So everything was a different side to the story. So in the beginning it was like, I know you rather rock solo, you got a nigga feeling so low, I can't say I changed, cause the fact is I love you and that stayed the same. I mean, I wrote that like, because like at that point it was like I was in love, and we used to always talk about how I used to always hear like I'm like every other nigga, etc., etc. And it was always a thing, like she wanted me to change. And I felt like at that point I'm like, I can't change if I love you. Like, how am I supposed to change that? Like, so it was like, that's the only way I know how to love. And so, like I said, this song was inspired by a certain person, and at that time at 4am I couldn't sleep, and like I was looking for beats and I found this beat, and then like the song really wrote itself. The hook really wrote itself. I know it's 4 in the morning, your body is calling. Your body is calling, but your body is calling. Don't be scared, girl, hit my line. And that was everything I wanted her to do. And we wasn't talking no more. Like, I wouldn't get no messages, no phone calls, nothing. Like, don't be scared, girl, hit my line. If I'm on your mind, guaranteed I make it mine. Nothing for a nigga if I wanna make it town. Nothing for a nigga if I wanna make it town. But would you come back to me? We went to war, lost some casualties. And at that point, we was having so many arguments and so many fights. And like, but I was on a tight time, like, fuck it, let's risk it all, fuck it, like, we went to war, lost some casualties, bring that ass back, and I swear I'm gonna act like another man ain't coming after me. Cause at that point in that relationship, or situationship, I knew, like, even if she was to take me back, like, it would only be momentarily, and it would just be somebody coming after me. So I was kind of in the song, I was accepting that, and I just wanted that one night, you know what I mean, hit me up. So if you listen to, as the first verse goes off and the hook comes back, And then I come back with the second verse. It was me basically coming to a realization like, I know you rather rock solo, but fucking had to put the bed in. But fucking nigga, who I'm kidding. I'd rather keep you when you kept me in, that mean we finished. And that was like, that was me, the ego taking over, I guess. Because at first I was being very vulnerable. Like, of course, but like, you know how you could go up to a chick, you see a chick on the street. It was kind of like this, like, you see a chick on the street, you're like, damn, shorty, what's up, beautiful? Like, and she don't give you no time of the day. You're like, all right, whatever, bitch. It was kind of that. Like, the first verse was like, damn, what's up, beautiful? And then the second verse was kind of like, all right, whatever, bitch, because like, you knew, like, you salty, like, so it was like, I know you rather rock solo, but fucking had to put the pen in. You're fucking nigga, who I'm kidding. I'd rather keep you where you kept me in, that mean we finished. Like, so it was just me realizing that, but me being salty, and coming to that realization, like, it's not gonna happen, and that's how I wrote that. So I'm trying to think, real shit, it's the real shit. Just take a little moment, how I feel shit. Swear you be the one on me, I would build with, and you left me by my lonely, and I'm still sick. You know, like, that was me. It was so many progressions in the song, like so many feelings like that I explored. So like after me saying whatever bitch metaphorically, it was like, damn, like, this how I feel, so I gotta make sure, like, you know, like, regardless if I'm saying whatever bitch, I don't mean that. I don't mean I gotta keep you where you kept me and that mean we finished. Like, I don't mean none of this, but like, this what I really mean. Like, I really want you, but like, I just know it can't be, and that was me accepting that part. So like, as the third verse goes, like I wrote this at 4 a.m. I wasn't drunk, but honestly, the whole song is from the perspective of a guy that it was oftentimes where in real life when I was dealing with that woman that I would come around and I would be like, I'll be drunk and shit. I hit her up like, damn, what you doing? Like, and she would hate that shit. And like, so I wrote this third verse from that perspective. Like, the nigga got me feeling so thorough. Damn, I'm used to hearing your phone. Fuck it, I doubt, I know I ain't talked to you this drunk in a while. Hey, when I'm saucy and you ain't the same. Ain't got no time to be playing them games. But I ain't too drunk, girl, I know what I'm saying. And I know I fucked up if you let me explain. Like, I feel like that, at that point, like, I was reminiscing on the times when I would call her and I would be so intoxicated. But like, I knew what I was saying, I knew what I was doing at all times. And it was just me reminiscing on that time and thinking about times I would look it up and I would call and I just wanted to do it one more time. And you know, but this time just be like real about the situation, even though like, could you be real about the situation when you were under the influence? But anyway, like, you know, so I wrote, so this whole song is kind of like from a perspective of a dude that's, what he would do if it was 4 a.m. and he was in his feelings. Cause I was in my feelings, man, and a lot of times I was, and at that point, I felt the way. And so like, if you listen to the hook, like, it was really me wishing that I would call, and not more much of her calling me, but me wishing that I would call, but like, I was putting it on her. Like, that's why if you listen to the end, like, I hit your line and I do it every time. Hit your line and I do it every time. Like, would you come back to me? Would you come back to me? I mean, it was really me just hoping that she would call me, but like, end of the day, I knew like I would have to be the one to do it, and I probably wouldn't. But this is everything I would say if I did. And that's why it really turned into one of my favorite songs, because it took so much introspective thinking to actually write the lyrics to it. And it came out so great, man. It's one of my favorite songs I ever wrote. It's super personal. And I wonder if she knows about her, but whatever. She probably never heard it anyway. It's cool. That's in the past. But, you know, it's one of them things, like, I had to get it off my chest, and, you know, that's 4 a.m. Fun facts about Frontin'. So Frontin', again, was like one of the last songs I wrote. So you had This Ain't Forever, and then Frontin' was like one of the last songs I wrote for songs about her. And it came at a point to where, like, the situation I went through with This Ain't Forever recently, it was like, Frontin' was kind of like me realizing like the situation I just went through and what I'm dealing with was kind of like the past previous situation. It was like, so it was kind of about two people in one, and it was like, and simply like, it was just like, We argue because we arguing because that's not fair. You call me, you want to leave me like I'm not red. It's cool, you need some time. And never was you mine, but fuck it, never mind. You frontin' when it's fine, cause the nigga still gonna shine. And it was like, despite everything I learned from past situations and past like experiences with women, it was like, all right, now it don't matter because you gonna be good regardless. And like, that's why I started off and I said it's time now, gotta get my shit together. I really should have known better the way you treated me clever, because I've been through the situation already. So the things that the new woman I was dealing with did that I felt like was disloyal, it was like, dog, I should have known better. So like, it was kind of like just me replaying something old, and it was like, all right, I'm gonna accept it, but like, end of the day, this shit not acceptable. You feel me? Like, I definitely gotta accept it, but it's not acceptable. So I said it's time now, gotta get my shit together. I really should have known better the way you treated me clever. I know this ain't the usual. Real nigga, you ain't used to. Yo, nigga, he would use you. He mistreated and abused you. I'm trying to show you different and give you the life you missing, but then you start to get missing and sending texts like I'm tripping. You know, I ain't the one for that. I played your game, I'm done with that. You know what I mean? So it was like really me just being fed up at that point in time with not only her, but just the women I was dealing with in general, and like just not being down for that no more. And it was kind of me just making that clear on that record. And what else? At the end it was like, I'm a grown ass woman. You a grown ass woman. I'm a grown ass man. Learn that life is alright. Shit don't go as planned. And I got that. So them tears, girl, just stop that. Try to build us, but we not that. Done starting over, we stopped that. You know what I mean? So it was like, the whole song was just me coming to that realization of life, like I'm worth more than that, which we all gotta realize, man and woman. Sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes you gotta move on. Sometimes you gotta work on things, but like just understanding your worth, and that song was really me understanding my worth. So I wrote that. I wrote friend, and even with the bars, like the bars was like super personal for me because it was like, girl with me sexing. I always say it's mine, that's the shit that I question. Always fucking lying when I ask you a question. Why should I believe that you for me? Yeah, you. Either way, man, it was just, man, it was super personal, man. And it was like, that was, those lyrics were everything that was happening at that time with as recent with that woman I was dealing with. And it was just me, like, I was just done. At that point in my head, I was done. And those lyrics were super it for me, and it was like me declaring this is it. Like, gave me parts, I gave you all of me. Plot and shit, clock and tick, time reveals a lot of shit. That's real though. Thought you was a real bitch, guess you was a trip. Thought you was a trill chick, guess you was a real hoe. I ain't wanna listen when my niggas told me chill, bro. Like, all that shit I was saying was like everything. Like, my man, I would have conversations with him, and he was like, yo, now, like, come on, man, you gotta, he would always tell me about myself, and I wouldn't listen. Multiple people would tell me about myself, and I wouldn't listen. But, you know, we all gotta learn our own, at our own pace, at our own time, man. And eventually, of course, I learned. You know, it's not something I wanted to do anymore, but friend, that's how that came about. Songs about her. I originally got the idea for the title because after, the title didn't even come until like probably like early March. And I was already like maybe like 4 or 5 songs in. And it was kind of at that point to where I'm like, damn, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna call this project. And I was like writing in my phone one day, a couple different names. I think I was playing with like, and it was like, it came down to like songs for her and like songs about her. And it just was like, I didn't want to do songs for her because my homie Bia, she had a joint called Songs for Ken, and it was super dope. And songs about her would just write me because, like I said, every song was kind of about a different her, whether it was fictional or realistic situation that I went through. So it was kind of like, it was a no-brainer at that point, and it just popped into my head like, all right, well, songs about her, like, and that's how it came about, man. It was really no complex thinking into it. It was more so like I let the songs create the title of the album, and so I got songs about her.